Hey there! So, for the first time ever, I'm doing a talking video, kind of nervous, but let's do this. Today we're going to talk about a few K-pop groups I've unstanned. Just to be super clear from the beginning, this is not a hate video at all, it's literally just me chatting and sharing my opinions. I feel like we've all been there, trying to stan a group, but for whatever reason it just never fully clicked. Or maybe you were a fan at one point, and then the spark slowly faded. So today I'm gonna talk about my own experiences with that. We're splitting this video into two parts. First, groups I tried to stan but could never really get into, and second, groups I actually did stan, but eventually stopped following. God knows I tried. When IVE debuted, I was obsessed with 11. Then Love Dive dropped and I was out here arguing it was Song of the Year, even over my own faves releases. And when Afterlight came out? Yeah, I fully fell for their music, especially Gul, I Love You. So at that point I was like, okay, this discography is way too good, I have to stan. I watched a ridiculous amount of IVE Funny Moments videos, spent hours glued to my TV watching their YouTube variety content, scrolled through countless TikToks trying to get to know the members, and still, it just didn't click. Except for Gul. Did I mention I love Gul? Their videos just didn't really entertain me, they didn't pull me in, and that emotional connection everyone talks about? Yeah, it just never showed up for me. I still keep up with what they do because I genuinely love their music and I do like them, but I've never felt that something special, that extra spark that makes me fully fall in love with a group. The same thing happened with LE Seraphim. I never intended to stan them as hard as I did with IVE, but I genuinely loved their first 3 albums. I even thought about buying them physically, but at the end of the day, I never really connected with the members themselves. With Cat's Eye, it was literally the opposite situation. I think the girls are amazing, super fun, super genuine, and honestly so refreshing. They felt different right away, and yes, I know they're not technically K-pop, but I'm including them because their promo style is basically K-pop 101. I genuinely love the members. I was starting to slide into the fandom. Megan and Daniela were in a full-on bias war for me, and even though the fandom was kinda cringy, it wasn't enough to scare me off. Everything was lining up perfectly. Except for one huge problem, I don't like their music. I didn't vibe with Debut or Touch at all. Gnarly is honestly painful for me to listen to, and Gabriella just didn't hit or feel special. The only tracks I've actually enjoyed are Game Boy and Mean Girls. I'm not completely closing the door, I could totally give them another shot in the future if they release music I connect with. But for now, if I don't like a group's discography, I just can't bring myself to stan. With Twice, it's a bit of a weird case because I don't think I've ever actually tried to stan them. They've always just been there. They live on my Spotify playlists. I know way too many once inside jokes, I know a lot of random member lore, I've watched a bunch of their variety shows, and I bought several of their albums, where, for some reason, Sanaa's inclusions are constantly haunting me. I love them, I really do, but it's just never fully happened. I think one big reason is that I like Nayeon more than I like Twice as a group. From the moment I discovered them, I completely fell in love with her, I just adore her. So when she debuted as a soloist, it kinda hit me, I didn't stan Twice. I stan Nayeon. And before anyone twists this, no, I'm not OT1 or on any weird behavior. I like all the girls and I respect the group. I'm just simply a fan of Nayeon as a solo artist. This is probably the messiest one to explain, because my relationship with their music has been all over the place since day one. I loved Black Mamba, hated Next Level, thought Savage was okay, Girls was meh, Spicy was a total miss for me, then I loved Drama, the song that made me want to be a fan, loved Armageddon, and Whiplash was fine. On top of that, I actually enjoy a lot of their B-sides. So music-wise, I'd say I like about half of their discography, but not enough to fully ignore everything else and stand them as a group. Now, when it comes to scandals, every group has them, but S-Pos have always left me feeling kinda cold. Some of them are straight up stupid, like Karina's dating situation, that was ridiculous, and I genuinely felt awful for her. But other situations made it harder for me to feel connected to the group. I personally think that as fans, we should be able to admit when our faves mess up, and I feel like a big part of their fandom struggles with that. A lot of the criticism they've received does have valid points behind it, and pretending otherwise doesn't sit right with me. That said, I'm not making moral judgments, I don't know these girls at all. I don't think they're bad people, not even close. I just feel like, based on what I've seen, I don't really align with them, and we probably don't share the same ideals, for lack of a better word. I don't hate them. I still listen to a good amount of their music. They just don't make me feel comfortable, and there are certain attitudes I haven't vibed with. That doesn't mean they're evil or that the insane accusations people throw at them are justified. I simply don't like them, and that's where it ends. We started off strong. Blackpink was one of the very first groups I ever stanned when I got into K-pop. I fell in love with their music, I fell in love with them, and Rose genuinely became my reason for waking up every morning. I bought an embarrassing amount of albums, went to their concerts, watched every single video on their YouTube channel, and even ran a TikTok edit account where I posted about them daily. I loved them with my whole heart. So, what happened? The wait. Blackpink's never-ending hiatus pushed me to check out other groups, but that alone wasn't what made me unstan. When Born Pink was announced, I was literally the happiest person alive, until I heard Pink Venom and shut down. After waiting that long, that's what we got. I tried so hard to convince myself I liked those songs, but I just didn't. The only tracks I truly enjoyed were The Happiest Girl and Ready for Love. That still didn't immediately make me drop them, but slowly, other girl groups started stealing my heart. Especially Mix, who released In Twerf the same month Born Pink came out. Their album and the content they were putting out completely captivated me, and before I knew it, my attention had shifted. To this day, I still keep up with Blackpink's projects, and I love them all a lot, especially Rose and Lisa. Yes, I bought Lisa's Fortnite skin, and yes, it's one of my favorites. But even with all that love, Blackpink just aren't my ULT group anymore. No one, and I mean no one, was a bigger ITZY fan than me during the Mafia in the Morning and Loco eras. I was running to buy their albums the second they dropped. Chaeryeong was in my top 4 ultimate biases. Their songs were on full blast in my room, and my walls were literally covered in ITZY posters. And the thing is, they were never the problem. I still love them, and Chaeryeong is still ranked insanely high for me. I love Chaeryeong, in case that wasn't already crystal clear. The issue is simple, I stopped liking their music. Now I already know the official Midzy committee is gonna say I was never a real fan, but like, if I don't enjoy the music anymore, what am I supposed to do? The core of ITZY's appeal has always been their title tracks. While they do have some solid B-sides, they've never really been the main attraction. And since Sneakers, nothing they've released has hit me the way Loco, Mafia in the Morning, or Icy did. Sneakers, Cheshire, Cake, Untouchable, Girls Will Be Girls, Tunnel Vision, none of them gave me that same spark. So naturally, other groups with discographies I connect with more slowly took their place. It doesn't erase the love I have for ITZY, it just means my taste moved on. She was hands down my favorite solo artist. Zoxo, Dum Dum, What You Waiting For, I loved all her songs, and I loved her as an artist. I even liked Birthday when everyone else hated it. My peak as a Somi fan was during Fast Forward. That song quickly became one of my favorites, alongside Gold Gold Gold. But my biggest issue with her has always been more than just music, it's the lack of content. Being a Somi fan meant getting crumbs here and there, listening to the same songs on repeat, and watching the same few videos over and over. After so much silence, I naturally lost interest. There was nothing new to see, nothing new to do, so I started focusing on more active artists. The final straw? Ice cream. So much waiting for that. It will always sting to think about what Somi's career could have been if the Black Label had actually invested in her and managed her properly. It's heartbreaking that one of the most promising solo artists in the industry ended up being, in a way, sabotaged by her own company. I can't say I ever became the ultimate Neverland, that would be a lie, but I did like them a lot and considered myself a fan. My real peak as a fan was in 2022 with Next, a song I absolutely loved. I also loved pretty much everything they released after 2020, except Dumdy Dumdy La Dada, Han, Lion, oh my god, oh, their musical peak, in my opinion. I even got to ignore how much I didn't vibe with Tomboy by clinging to Next, but after that, nothing else really clicked. The only thing I liked from Queen Card was Chongbean's dance cover, I won't even bring up Super Lady, and Klaxon? Yeah, I liked that even less. So when a string of disappointing albums came out, it hit me, what I truly loved about them was their older music, not the members themselves. I just never connected with them as people, so I slowly moved on. And we're ending with the big one, BTS. They were my intro to K-pop, they were literally everything. I bought hundreds of merch items, ran countless fan accounts across different platforms, BTS became my daily life, my routine. I probably haven't felt such a deep emotional attachment to any other group. To show you just how much I love them, I even have a tattoo related to Park Jimin. Words honestly can't capture how hardcore of a fan I was for years. Back then, I was convinced that no other group could ever take that spot in my heart. Until...
What's up GQ? We are Stray Kids!
Yeah, these 8 guys came into my life and weren't going anywhere. BTS's military service lined up with the moment I met my 2 best friends, both stays, who introduced me to the fandom. At first, I tried to stan both groups, but Stray Kids completely stole my attention. And while I still think BTS's pre-2020 discography is probably the best in all of K-pop, Stray Kids won me over. Plus, some of the members' recent activities have left me confused, to say less. I still have a ton of love for BTS, but it's just not the same anymore. I still respect them immensely, but I can't say they're my favorite group anymore. Has anything like this ever happened to you? I feel like if you've been in the K-pop world long enough, it's normal for the groups you once loved the most to not be the same anymore. Right now, the only groups I truly stan are Stray Kids, Mix, Racine, and Kickflip. I love them all so much, and I don't think that'll ever change, but as you grow, tastes change, people change. For now, I'm just here to give them my full support and enjoy every moment. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, gave it a like, and dropped a comment sharing your thoughts. See you next time. Stream Bloom by Racine.